चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधीन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नामम
आत्मा जातवेरसेने ढस्वभढस्वचेदवर्धया चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाद्येन समेधया स्वाहा इदमग्ने जातवेरसे इदन्नामम
ॐ आयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने यस्वरस्वचेदवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधीन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नामम
ॐ अयन्तयत्मात्मा जातवेरसेने ढस्वभढस्वचेदवर्धया चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाद्येन समेधया स्वाहा इदमग्ने जातवेदसे इदन्नामम
ॐ आयन्त इद्मा आत्मा जातवेदस्तेने यस्वरस्वचेदवर्धय चास्मान् प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसे नानाधीन समेधय स्वाहा इदमग्नये जातवेदसे इदन्नामम अठ जल सिंचन मंत्र sprinkling of water around the Havan Kunda. First in the eastern direction. Om Ariti Anumanyaswa.
Om Anumate Anumanyaswa.
Om Saraswati Anumanyaswa.
Om Deva Savitah Prasuvayajam Patim Bhagaya. Devyo Gandharvah Ketapu Ketannah Punatu. Vachaspatir Vacham Nah Swadatu.
Making ghee oblations, first in the north, then in the south, and in the center. Om Agnaye Swaha Idam Agnaye Idan Namama.
Om Somaya Swaha Idam Somaya Idam Namama.
Om Prajapataye Swaha Idam Prajapataye Idan Namama.
Om Indraya Swaha Idam Indraya Idam Namama.
Ath Pratah Kalena Ahuti, making both ghee and samagri offerings. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyotihi Suryah Swaha.
Om Suryo Varcho Jyotir Varchah Swaha.
Om Jyotihi Suryah Suryo Jyotihi Swaha.
Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajurusha Sendravatya Joshanah Suryo Vetu Swaha.
Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragnihi Swaha.
Om Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varchah Swaha.
Om Swaha.
Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuratrendra Vatya जोषानो अग्निर्वेतु स्वाहा
ॐ भुरग्नये प्राणाय स्वाहा इदमग्नये प्राणाय इदन्नामम
ॐ भूर्वायवे पानाय स्वाहा इरं वायवे पानाय इरन्नामम
ॐ स्वरारित्याय व्यानाय स्वाहा इदमादित्याय व्यानाय इदन्नामम
ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वरग्नि वायवारितेभ्यः प्राणापान्व्यानेभ्यः स्वाहा इरमग्निवायवारितेभ्यः इरन्नामम
ॐ आपो ज्योतिरसो अमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरों स्वाहा
ॐ यामेनां देवगणः पितरश्चोपासते तयामा मेधयाग्नि मेधाविनं कुरु स्वाहा
ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्न आसुव स्वाहा
ॐ अग्निनया सुपधाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् योयोजस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठान्तिं नमौतिं विनेम स्वाहा
And now Pandita Nirvani ji will proceed with a few special offerings.
As we celebrate this 200th birth anniversary of Maharishi Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Maharishi Dayanand fought for the values of women. And in fighting for the values of women, he fought for the values of family. Today's special mantras will be dedicated to family. For those of us that are ailing, those of our members, those of us that are looking online, joining us virtually, we would like to say offer these mantras in your honor. Muhammad.
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा
ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीय मामृतात् स्वाहा.
And with this mantra here, we're asking for the wellness of the family. Let the child become the desired wishes of the father, and in tune with the mind of the mother, let the wife speak with a pleasant voice to the husband. This will bring peace to all members of the family. Om Anuvratah Pituho Putro Matra Bhavatu Sanmanaha जायापत्ये मधुमतिं वाचं वरतु शान्तिवा स्वाहा. And again, we're praying for long life for everyone, all family members, all members of this Arya Spiritual Center, members of this Samaj who have so far upkept the teachings of Maharishi Swami Dayanand. Om Indra Jiva Surya Jiva Deva Jiva Jivyasam Sarvamana Yajurdyasam Swaha. I'm going to hand you back to Hai Dianji.
We continue with key offerings. Om Agnaye Swaha Iramagnaye Idannamama
Om Somaya Swaha Iram Somaya Idannamama.
Om Prajapataye Swaha Iram Prajapataye Idannamama
Om Indraya Swaha Iram Indraya Idannamama.
Om Bhuragnaye Swaha Iramagnaye Idannamama
Om Bhurvayave Swaha Iram Vayave Idannamama.
Om Swararityaye Swaha Iramarityaya Idannamama
Om Bhurbhuva Swaragni Vayavaritevyah Swaha Iramagni Vayavaritevyah Idannamama.
Atha Brahma Gayatri Savitri Guru Mantra. We make both ghee and samagri offerings. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha.
Om Bhurbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha.
Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Swaha. Swishakrita Ahuti, offering Mohan Bhoga. Om Yarasya Karmano Atyari Richam Yadvanyo Namiha Karam Agnishtat Swishtakridavidyat Sarvam Swishtam Sahutam Karotu Me Agnaye Swishakrite Sahutahute Sarva Prayaschitahutinam Kamanam Samadhaitre Sarvanah Kamanta Samardhaya Swaha Idamagnaye Swishakrite Idannamama. Silent offering. Om Swaha Iram Prajapataye Idannamama. And now we stand as we make our final 3 offerings. If there's anyone who would like to come forward to make an offering, you may feel free to do so. Om Sarvam Ve Purnam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Ve Puranam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Ve Purnam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Ve Puranam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Ve Purnam Swaha.
Om Sarvam Ve Puranam Swaha.
And with this final offering, you place everything in the kunda. Om Sarvam Ve Purnam Swaha. Atha Mukha Sparshah. With our palms facing the fire and passing them gently over our faces. Om Tanupa Agni Asi Tanva Me Pahi.
Om Ayurda Agni Yasi Ayur Me Dehi.
Om Varchodagni Asi Varcho Me Dehi.
Om Agneyan Me Tanva Unam Tanva Aprina.
Om Medha Me Devah Savita Adhadatu.
Om Medha Me Devi Saraswati Adadhatu.
Om Medha Me Ashwino Deva Vadatam Pushkarasraja. Artha Angasparshah, touching our various body limbs and organs. Om Vakchamapyayetam.
Om Pranascha Apyayatam.
Om Chakshushamapyayetam.
Om Shrotram Tramapayatam.
Om Yashobalam Cha Ma'apyayetam. May we all take our asan as we join together in our Yajagit Pujaniya Prabhu Hamari. If you can, please join with us on page 215 of your Atmagit. Pujaniya Prabhu Hamare Bhava Ujjwal Kijiye.
छोड़ देवे चल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए।
वेद की गावे रचाए सत्य को धारण करे।
हर्ष में हो मग्न सारे शोक सागर से तरे।
अश्वमेधाधिक रचाए यज पर उपकार को।
धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को।
नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज आदि हम करते रहे।
रोग पीड़ित विश्व विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहे।
भावना मित जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की।
कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे यज्ञ से नर नारी की।
लाभकारी हो हवन हर जीवधारी के लिए।
वायु जल सर्वत्र हो शुभ गंध को धारण किए।
स्वर्त भाव मिते हमारा प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो।
किरण ममता सार्थक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो।
हाथ जोर झुकाए मस्तक, हाथ जोर झुकाए मस्तक, वंदना
हम कर रहे।
नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे। प्रभु आपकी सब पर रहे। प्रभु आपकी सब पर रहे।
ओ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्।
हे ईश सब सुखी हो, कोई न हो दुकारी। सब हो निरोग भगवन, धन धान्य के भंडारी। सब भद्र भाव देखे, सन्मार्ग के पति कहो। दुखिया न कोई होवे, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। सृष्टि में प्राणधारी, सृष्टि में प्राणधारी। O Lord, may all be happy, and may no one be afflicted with pain. May everyone be rid of illnesses and filled with all kinds of riches. May all see only that which is auspicious, and may all walk on the path of virtue. O sustainer of cosmic breath, may no one be in calamity and distress. Iti Agnihotram. Once again, my humble namaste to everyone. We have now completed the first part of our evening's yajna, that is our havan. And now I'll hand you over to our Sabhapati, our chairperson, for the remainder of the program, our Bahan Devika Singh ji.
Thank you, Pandit Devani, by Davendra, and by Child for leading us through our Hawan. Respected Pandits, Panditas, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, my humble namaste to everyone.
Namaste.
On behalf of the management team at Arya Spiritual Center, it is with great joy and reverence that we welcome you and our viewers at home to our third session of Yajya to celebrate the 200th Janam Divas of our Jagat Guru Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. As we honor the profound legacy of Swami Dayanand, let us reflect on his teachings of truth, righteousness, and spiritual enlightenment. As a woman and the mother of two young women, I am eternally grateful for the crucial role Swami Dayanand played in advocating for women's rights, education, and empowerment within the context of Hinduism. Our first item on the program today, this evening, is the recital of the 10 principles by Pandita Nirvani and by Davindra.
Namaste again.
If you can, please join with us on page 313 of your Atmageet or on the back cover of your Vedic Aradhana. आर्य समाज के 10 नियम। प्रथम नियम, सब सत्य विद्या और जो पदार्थ विद्या से जाने जाते हैं उन सब का आदि मूल परमेश्वर है।
God is the primary cause of all spiritual and physical sciences and of everything known through their means.
द्वितीय नियम, ईश्वर सचिद आनंद स्वरूप निराकार सर्वशक्तिमान न्यायकारी दयालु अजन्मा अनंत निर्विकार अनादि अनुपम सर्व आधार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक सर्व अंतर्यामी अजर अमर अभय नित्य पवित्र और सृष्टि करता है, उसी की उपासना योगी करना है।
Second principle, God is existent, intelligent, and blissful. He is formless, omnipotent, just, kind, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginless, unequaled, the support of all, the Lord of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal, holy, and the creator of the universe. He alone should be communed with.
तृतीय नियम, वेरा सब सत्या विद्याओं का पुस्तक है, वेरा का पढ़ना पढ़ाना सुनना सुनाना सब आर्यों का परम धर्म है।
The third principle, Ved is the scripture of all true knowledge. Reading, teaching, hearing, and reciting the Ved is the first duty of all Aryans.
चतुर्थ नियम, सत्य को ग्रहण करने और सत्य को छोड़ने में सर्वदा उद्यत रहना चाहिए।
The fourth principle, one should always be prepared to accept truth and reject falsehood.
पंचम नियम, सब काम धर्म अनुसार अर्थात सत्य और असत्य को विचार करके करने चाहिए।
The fifth principle, all work should be done in keeping with the righteousness, that is, after due reflection over right and wrong.
शास नियम, संसार का उपकार करना इस समाज का मुख्य उद्देश्य है, अर्थात शारीरिक आत्मिक और सामाजिक उन्नति करना।
The sixth principle, to do good to the whole world is the main object of this samaj, that is, to improve the physical, spiritual, and social states of human experience.
सप्तम नियम, सबसे प्रीतिपूर्वक धर्म अनुसार यथा योग्य बरतना चाहिए।
The seventh principle, one should have dealings with all in accordance with love, law, and propriety.
अष्टम नियम, अविद्या का नाश और विद्या की वृद्धि करनी चाहिए।
Eighth principle, one should always promote knowledge and dispel ignorance.
नवम नियम, प्रत्येक को अपनी ही उन्नति में संतुष्ट न रहना चाहिए, किंतु सबकी उन्नति में अपनी उन्नति समझनी चाहिए।
No one should remain content with his or her own prosperity. Individual prosperity should be considered in the prosperity of all.
और दशम नियम, सब मनुष्यों को सामाजिक सर्वहितकारी नियम पालने में परतंत्र रहना चाहिए और प्रत्येक हितकारी नियम में सब स्वतंत्र रहे।
And the last principle, everyone should be bound in following altruistic social rules. However, in matters relating to personal welfare, let all be free. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Pandita Nirvani and Bhai Devendra. At this time, we call on Bhai Rajan for our first bhajan.
Namaste, everyone. So, for those of you that have the Atma Geet, please join me on page 60. Dayanand Agar Tu. And the song is saying, "O Rishi Dayanand, if you hadn't shaken us to consciousness and pointed out the path of the Veda, then what would have happened to humanity? What would have happened to society?" दयानंद कर तू हमें ना जगाता, जो वेदों का मार्ग हमें ना बताता। दयानंद कर तू हमें ना जगाता, जो वेदों का मार्ग हमें ना बताता, जो वेदों का मार्ग हमें ना बताता। दयानंद कर तू हमें ना जगाता। तरपती थी गावे, रोती थी विधवा, तरपती थी गावे, रोती थी विधवा, अनाथों बेचारों का क्या कुछ पता था, अनाथों बेचारों का क्या कुछ पता था। दयानंद कर तू हमें ना जगाता। ब्रह्मचार्य को जानता कैसे कोई, ता ब्रह्मचार्य को जानता कैसे कोई, जो तलवार को तोड़ कर ना गिराता, जो तलवार को तोड़ करना गिराता। दयानंद कर तू हमें ना जगाता। धन्य तुझको ऋषिवर, धन्य तेरी हिम्मत, धन्य तुझको ऋषिवर, धन्य तेरी हिम्मत। दयानंद क्या था, गजब की बला था, दयानंद क्या था, गजब की बला था। दयानंद गर तू हमें ना जगाता, दयानंद गर तू हमें ना जगाता। जो वेदों का मार्ग हमें ना बताता, जो वेदों का मार्ग हमें ना बताता। दयानंद गर तू हमें ना जगाता, दयानंद गर तू हमें ना जगाता, दयानंद गर तू हमें ना जगाता। Thank you.
Very well done. It's always a pleasure listening to this duo. At this time, we will move to our announcements, and please welcome the Chairman of Trustees by Saga Rajpal.
Namaste, everyone. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of the Samaj to welcome all of you who are here today. We are eternally grateful for you to leave your homes and come out on a work night to be here with us today. And those of you who are watching online, we also thank you for joining on this third session of 4-session yajnas, celebrating the 200th birth anniversary of Swami Dayanand ji. Before I go into the announcements, I just want to say a few words about Swami Dayanand ji and who he was and why he said back to the Vedas. When he said back to the Vedas, we have to go back and find out what was the conditions in the world and India at that time. And I'm not going to go into details about all that, but it was really, really bad. Colonialism brought India to its knees, and India was in a very, very bad place. So when he started out in his mission, and the broad overall goal was, as Hinduism and as Hindus, we talk about living in harmony with the environment and people. And that's basically the focus, the overall focus of what the Veda says and what Swami Dayanand was focusing on. And I want to say it, in today's world, and if you work for a corporation, and a lot of these youngsters are here today who are working and who are part in college, there's an acronym that corporate boards are and initiatives that they're implementing. ESG. Has anyone here heard the acronym ESG? No? Okay. If you're in any one of the big corporations today, that's what they're actually implementing, and they're making sure that you're ESG compliant. Now, what is ESG? It's environment, sustainability, and governance. And all those and those concepts that the Western world is implementing today is part of Hinduism. It's part of what Swami Dayanand was doing when he set out to accomplish the goals that he wanted to do. So I just wanted to say those few things before I delve into the announcements. So as you know, we have satsang. We have satsang every Sunday here at Mandir at 9 a.m. And in terms of this yajna, we're going to continue tomorrow morning. I'm sorry, tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. So please, if you can come out, please come and join us. It's the last session of the 4-session yajnas that we're having celebrating the 200th anniversary. So we are meeting here again tomorrow between 7 and 9 p.m. Also, we hold weekly satsangs every Thursday night held by Panadipakji via Zoom. You can get those password and codes from any one of us or from our chat group. We also have the youths in the Mahila that meets once a month. If you would like to join those groups, for the youths, contact Bahindayana. For Mahila, contact Pandita Nirvani. Also, we want to thank everyone who's been giving us donations, and you can do that in person, or you can do that electronically via PayPal using the QR code, or Zelle using the ASC email, which is aryaspiritualcenter@gmail.com. Center spelled CENTRE. Also, the Mandir is available for rentals. If you would like to do that, please contact a member of the executive, and we'd be more than happy to talk to you about celebrating a special event here at the Mandir. Even if you want to do that on a Sunday when we have special services, and if we can accommodate you, we'll be more than happy to do some special events there on Sunday. This Friday, we are celebrating a Rishi Bodh Utsav and Mahashivratri. Friday here at 7 p.m., March 8th. So make a note on your calendar. So we're going to be meeting here tomorrow night, and we're also going to be meeting here on Friday to celebrate Rishi Bodh Utsav and Mahashivratri, March 8th, between 7 and 9 p.m. On Thursday, March 14, there's a fundraising dinner. The Pago Parade Committee of New York is having a fundraising dinner at City Palace that's located between on Lefferts and Sutter. If you would like tickets, I have tickets. By Naro has tickets. By Anup has tickets, and Panaprakash has tickets. Also, we are going to be having our annual AGM on March 17 here at 11 a.m. So all financial members are invited to attend that meeting. Invitations have been sent out in the mail. We are also celebrating Holi here at the Mandir, Monday, March 25th, between 7 and 9 p.m. We are holding Chautal practices here every Sunday after services. So if you would like to join the Chautal team, please come to Mandir and you can join them. They'll be more than happy to welcome you. Last but not least, we're going to be having the annual Pago Parade in Richmond Hill on April 7th. So make a note of these notes on your calendar. Those are the special items that we have upcoming events. With these few words, I say namaste and thank you, and back to Bandavika.
Thank you, Vaisagar. At this time, we move to Bhai Devendra, who will be gracing us with another bhajan. Accompanying him on tabla is Deepak Shankar Singh.
My humble namaste once again to everyone. And I'd like to say it's a very great privilege to be accompanied by our great Deepakji, our talented tabla player. If you can, please join with me on page 70 of your Atmagit in this very beautiful bhajan dedicated to our Jagat Guru. It says, "We thank you, O Rishi Dayanand, for having saved us. You were asleep in a slumber of ignorance, and you awakened us. With your coming, the blind can see again, and the dead can have new life. The magic you have worked is unfathomable, and the nectar you have shared is indescribable. धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें बचा लिया. सो के लुट रहे थे हम, तूने हमें जगा दिया गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय आंधों को आँख मिल गए मुर्दों में जान आ गए जादू सा क्या चला दिया अमृत सा क्या पिला दिया गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय तुम में कुछ ऐसे भांति स्वामी के तेरी बात पर कितनी शहीद हो गई कितनों ने सर कटा दिया गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय श्रद्धा से श्रद्धनंदने सीने पे काई गोलियां हंस हंस के हंसराज ने तन मन वतन लुटा दिया गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय अपने लहू से लेकर राम तेरी कहानी लिख गए तूने ही लाला लाजपत शरीर बबड़ बना दिया गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय गुरुवर जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय ऋषि दयानंद जय जय धन्यवाद
Beautifully done by Devendra. Thank you. We have had the privilege of listening to Pandit Ravideen Ramsamuj on Saturday and Pandit Deepak Raman on Sunday. It is with great pleasure that we welcome this Monday evening the president of Arya Spiritual Center, Pandit Bharat Singh, to deliver tonight's pravachan. Pandit Bharat?
Om Swasti Pantam Anucharema Surya Chandrama Saviva Punardar Janata Sangame Mahi. All right, I'll have to sit over here. All right, let's all be seated. Please be seated. Thank you. Om. Deepak, can you help me get this up on the screen, please? Om. स्वागत सब हे प्रभुआ नंददाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे दुर्गणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए. Let's all. Om. Again, I apologize for being a little late, not being a little late, but being late here this evening. I had two funerals back to back, one Saturday, one yesterday, and the family had the final Hawan this afternoon at 6 o'clock, and from there I came straight here. And so that's life, you know. Panay Prakash was supposed to be here tonight. His nephew passed away, massive heart attack. And so that happens, but for some reason, this winter, we have seen a lot of people close to us and who are, Mandir family, their souls are being moving on. But we, nevertheless, we have to do what we have to do. This yajna has been long in the making, and I'm very happy. I had the privilege of watching Pandit Deepak yesterday on Facebook, and he delivered a wonderful pravachan, a very nice pravachan. And so let's all, as we commence tonight's pravachan, let's all, the first two mantras of the Rig Ved, if we can sit upright and join your sweet voices. Om Agnimire Purohitam. All of us. Agnimire Purohitam Yajasya Devamritvijam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam Hotaram Ratnadhatamam Agnihi Purvebhir Rishibhir Idyo Nutaneruta Sadevane Havakshatim Sadevane Havakshati. Again, all of us, blessed family and friends, the chairman of trustees by Sagar, our executive members, all of you, wonderful, dedicated members who are here tonight, and all of us watching via Facebook online. We are, as we know, we are in the third session of this 4-session, very, very special yajna, celebrating the 200th birth anniversary of Maharishi Swami Dayanand. And
you know, the actual day 200 years ago was February 12th. But we went with this celebration. We went with the lunar calendar. We went with the Hindu calendar date. That's why tomorrow, March 5th. If you check it 200 years ago, uh, um, gosh, Devendra in Chaitra, right? Yes. So in this month of he was born in the month of Chaitra, not Palgun. And so tomorrow, March 5th, it will be the actual correct date if you check it when he was born 200 years ago. And so that's why some people been asking Pandit Bharat or other members, you know, as per the Western calendar, it's February 12th, but how come you guys are doing it March 5th? And because we follow the new, not only us, but many the Samaj Mandirs, there are some Mandirs not in the US, but I get emails from the Arya, what do you call it? The Arya Yuva Sabha in Mauritius. They have a 200 Kund celebration this Sunday. I forgot what part in Mauritius it is. But there are other major celebrations happening this week leading up to Friday, because some people combine this Rishi Dayanand Jayanti plus Mahashivratri Friday coming up in one celebration. We're having two separate celebrations, which is okay. And so we'll go to, you know, Swami Dayanand Jayanti, 200th birth anniversary. What does this celebration means to us? Right? Yesterday, Pandit Deepak, in his closing remarks, he talked about Maharishi Dayanand and his struggles. And what was one thing he said towards the end, that Maharishi Dayanand never what? Those of us who are here. He never, you remember he talked about his story where he was crossing the Alakanda River and he hurt his feet? How many of you were here yesterday? By Rishi, you were here yesterday? By Mohan, okay. And what he said when he hurt his feet, he wanted to what? Give? Very good. He wanted to give up. But then he heard that inner voice telling him, you're here for a specific purpose on the face of Mother Earth. If you're to give up, O Rishi Dayanand, then that purpose of having reform and women being educated and all of these things. You know, prior to Rishi Dayanand coming 200 years ago, when he started his mission, as you've heard over and over, you know, women were not allowed to read Ved mantras. You see these Ved mantras we just, am I blocking you guys? Okay. These Ved mantras, they were never allowed. And so Maharishi Dayanand says, Ved is for all human beings. We don't have the time to go to the third principle, but what's the third principle? Ved sab satya vidyao ka, help me, pustak hai, Ved ka, parna, parhana, sunana, sunana, sab. What sab means? Everybody. Sab aryo ka param dharma hai. What's Paramadharma? Help me here. Gosh, it's a Rajan. What's Param? Supreme, the highest. Paramadharam, our highest duty, our supreme duty. Everybody, sab-aryoka, all noble people. It is the duty of all noble people to read Ved mantra. And so let's go to this. So in Satyart, you know, Maharishi Dayanand gave us, in his short time, some of us were here as Friday night when Pandit Ravi gave his pravachan. Anybody remember how old was Maharishi Dayanand when he passed? 59. Good, very good. You all paid attention Friday night. Some of you were paying attention yesterday. I'm just kidding. Don't get, listen. So he was 59, but in his 59 years, anybody can guess how many books he wrote? Make a guess. Make a guess. Somebody. No, that's too much. He wrote over 50 books. Over 50 books. He didn't reach 60, but he wrote over 50 books. And the magnus opus, the most prominent of all of them was which one? Satyart Prakash. Niraj, come closer and take this mic, please. So in chapter 3, of those of us who have been joining Pandit Deepak's Thursday night class on the Satyart Prakash, Satyart Prakash deals with what? Anybody? Look at the screen. What it deals about? Education of children, right? Maharishi Dayanand talks about us practicing virtue. And Maharishi Dayanand in Satyart Prakash, which was the text he quoted predominantly from. I mean, there was a lot of texts he quoted from to put Satyart Prakash together. He quoted from a text called Bhartrihari. He quoted Ved mantras. He quoted, but there was one text that has a lot of verses you can find in Satyart Prakash. Anybody remember that book? Very good. Thank you, Niraj. He quoted extensively from Manusmriti. What he quoted from extensively? Manusmriti. And Maharishi Dayanand also, he was a poet. He was this verse, if you turn to chapter 3 of the Satyart Prakash when you go home, this is the very first verse you will see in chapter 3. And he himself, this is his poetry. And so I'll chant one line, and all of you will join your sweet voices with Pandit Niraj. Vidya Vilasa Manaso. Everybody? Dhrita Shila Shiksha Satyavrata Rahita Manamala Pahara
Satyavrata Rahita Manamala Pahara.
All right, listen. Satyavrata Rahita Manamala Pahara
Satyavrata Rahita Manamala Pahara
Sansara Dukkha Dalane Nasubhushitaye
Sansara Dukkha Dalanena Subhushitaye
Dhanyanara Vihita Karma Paropakara
Dhanyanara Vihita Karma Paropakara.
Together. Dhanyanara Vihita Karma Paropakara. No mics, let me hear all of you in the audience. The last line. Beautiful Sanskrit poetry. And I thank you all so much for joining your sweet voices. And it's a little long meaning, but it's because, you know, those words are filled with so much meaning. It says here, blessed are the men and women whose minds, you see that, let's go back to the verse. Vidya Vilas, you see the word, where is it? The bottom. Dhanya Nara Vihita Karma Paropakaraha. Dhanya Nara, what dhanya means? Anybody can guess? We all know that word, right? That's how we get dhanyavad, right? Dhanya Nara, what Nara means? Human beings, men and women. Dhanya Nara. Fortunate indeed. Blessed indeed are those men and women whose minds are centered on the acquisition of knowledge. And that's why, friends, when we come to Mandir, our Pandits or whoever give the pravachan, if we have a visiting speaker, whoever it might be, whether the youths, whether it's Niraj or Devendra or which one of our youths, we always make an effort to put that wisdom here on the screen. So at least when in participating, you know, when we listen from a teacher perspective, any teacher will tell you, Niraj mom is a teacher. You retain, you know, just listening, you retain how much? 60% or some, a smaller percentage. But when you can see it And when you can connect with it, when you can chant it, when you can read it, you tend to retain much more, at least 70 to 80% of that wisdom. And that's why we make an effort to put it here. And so blessed are the men and women whose minds are set and are centered on the on the acquisition of knowledge. What else? Who possess sweet and amiable tempers. Very, very important. Pleasant personality. Who cultivate what? Help me with that word. Everybody? Truthfulness and other similar virtues, who are free from conceit and impurity, who enlighten the minds of those who are in ignorance. That's why Maharishi Dayanand, those 10 principles, yes, we read them, and we took a very wonderful initiative from last February to now. We took a good initiative to read those 10 principles every week. That was an initiative by Pandit Deepak, and we thank him. Because many of us, I wouldn't say we never, but the attention we paid during the past year, we never paid that attention before. In us following along on the screen or rather on the book, we got more familiar, and many of us, while just now I was saying the third one, and Pua was repeating because over and over, she didn't follow in her book, but she did merely listening. And so the point is, what I'm trying to say, I don't have my pointer today. I was traveling and I used my bag and I took it out. So it says here to enlighten the minds of those who are in ignorance. That's why Rishi Dayanand says, Ved all of you, Ved Sapsatya Vidyao Ka Pustak hai. Make an effort to read Ved wisdom. Tomorrow night, we have a very nice Ved mantra for tomorrow night's pravachan. Tonight, we want to focus a little on Satyart Prakash. And so it says here, go back, who enlighten the minds of those who are in ignorance, whose main delight consists in promoting the happiness of others by advocating truth, by generous distribution of knowledge without fee or reward, who are engaged in altruistic, selfless work prescribed by the Vedas. And so all of this here, there's a lot of thoughts here. But all of us, when we focus on these, now, Neeraj, you will read it very slowly for us to gain this, and everybody will join your voices with you. Go, 2-4.
Blessed are the men and women whose minds are centered on the acquisition of knowledge, who possess sweet and amiable tempers, who cultivate truthfulness and other similar virtues, who are free from conceit and impurity, who enlighten the minds of those who are in ignorance, whose main delight consists in promoting the happiness of others by advocating truth, by generous distribution of knowledge without fee or reward, who are engaged in altruistic, selfless work prescribed by the Vedas.
Very good. Thank you so much, Neeraj. But that middle one there, ignorance, whose main delight consists in promoting the happiness of others, friends. That's very, very important. We got to be thankful. We live in a country where we can make an effort to be very happy people, and there are many people also helping us. The other day there was a speaker, I forgot her name. She wrote a book called The How of Happiness, and she was giving a talk, and she migrated from Russia well over 25, more than 30 years ago. And in the beginning of her speech, she said she grew up in a country where on happiness, the aim of the government was to make everybody unhappy. And whereas we see in other countries like the United States and India and other places, where the government and the leaders, the spiritual leaders, and even the social leaders, they make an effort. Rishidan, one of the ways we can be happy people, friends, one of the ways we can be happy people by how? When we're together, and when we are educated, when we are knowledgeable. When we are educated, when you're knowledgeable, yeah, we might not all of us may not have gone to college, but at least a high school education, coming to the mandir, associating with wise people, reading, all of those help with us gaining wisdom. But when the more we're knowledgeable, the more we discover wisdom that makes us happy. And so Maharishi Dayanand said, our aim, apart from being centered on knowledge, we should be happy. And so this other verse, so we are blessed with this human form. And Maharishi Dayanand said, and I'm so happy Pandit Deepak mentioned this yesterday. At one point, Maharishi Dayanand, in his quest to acquire wisdom, to become the Maharishi, he faced with a lot of challenges. And there are times he became frustrated, but he did not allow that frustration to overcome him. He never gave up, as we heard yesterday. And so, because he realized, Maharishi Swami Dayanand, as we celebrate this 200 year, he realized in us having this human form, we have a what, friends? What we have at the top there? We have a purpose. And one of the purposes what? Following Dharma. One of the many purposes is to follow Dharma and foster Dharma. And what are some of the when people say follow Dharma, that word has a lot of meaning, right? But here in this Manusmriti verse, there are 4 things that characterizes Dharma. There are 4 things that defines Dharma. And so I'll chant one and all of us will repeat. Shrutihi smritihi sadacharaha.
Shrutihi smritihi sadacharaha.
Swasya cha priyamatmanaha.
Swasya cha priyamatmanaha.
Etat chaturvidham prahuhu.
It chaturvidham prathuh.
Sakshat dharmasya lakshanam.
Sakshat dharmanasya lakshanam.
Sakshat dharmasya lakshanam. Everybody, Sakshat dharmasya lakshanam. Neeraj, try that with everybody. All of us, all our participants. 2-4.
Shrutihi smritihi sadacharaha. Swasya cha priyamatmanaha. Etach chaturvidham prahu. Sakshat dharmasya lakshanam. Sakshat dharmasya lakshanam.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Neeraj. Thank you, all of you. So let me hear the audience. Our participants. Do the first 2 lines. Listen. Neeraj, you won't participate now. Now listen. Shrutihi smritihi sadacharaha. Swasya cha priyamatmanaha. Very good. Y'all are picking up nicely. So, Shrutihi smritihi sadacharaha. These 2 words, our children who came to the Virdal camp, these are 2 words we always teach every year. Shruti, what's Shruti? Huh? Right, that which is heard. Very good. That's why Ved is called Shrutihi. What Ved is called? Shrutihi. Because the 4 rishis, Rishivayu, Agni, Angiras, and Aditya, that wisdom of the Vedas was revealed to them. And later on, when writing was invented, they wrote the text down. And because it was perfect Sanskrit, you could not mess up with the words. And so Shruti, Smriti. Now what's Smriti? If Shruti is that which is given by God, then what's Smriti? That's which was written by the yogis, the rishis like Maharishi Dayanand, like Manu Smriti written by Lord Manu. Satyar Prakash is considered a Smriti because it was written by a great rishi. And Shrutihi Smritihi Sadacharaha. The wise people here, Manu Maharaj tells us, the wise openly declare the following 4 determinants of Dharma. Now, there are other determinants, friends. We all know that. But there's another Manusmriti verse that says, Dashakam Dharma Lakshanam, where we talk about 10 characteristics that about dharma. Here there's 4. So it says, what are the 4? Shrutihi, whatever is taught in the Ved. That wisdom which is taught in the Ved, when we follow that, we are following dharma. What else? Whatever is approved by the writings of the rishis. And now here is where smriti comes in. Whatever is approved by the writings of the rishis, smritihi. Etach chatur vidham prahuhu. Whatever course of action confirms to truth. And whatever is you see that second line? Swasya cha priyam atmanaha. Priyam, that which appeals to the soul. You know, sometimes that our soul tells us, you know, I mean, us here, our members, we're dedicated to our mandir. We might not be here every week. I'm not here often. I mean, every week. There are times I have to be away, but deep down within us, we know we have to be here time after time to ensure the wheels of this mandir keep rolling forward. And so, why we do that? Because there's an inner calling, swasya cha priyam atmanaha, but that which is desired by our own soul to serve in whatever little way we can. All our musicians, all our members, Binaro in coming here Saturday or Friday, making sure this place, ensuring this place was properly cleaned and ready for this yajna with his group of whoever he got to do it. But the point is, that's why that was done, because swasyacha priyam atmanaha. That was an inner calling from the soul to tell us this is what we have to do. Make an effort to do it. Sometimes we hear that inner calling, not us here. A lot of people, we hear that inner calling from our soul. Swasyacha priyam atmanaha. But you know what many people do? What they do? They suppress it, they stifle it, and they do their own things. They do their own thing, they do the wrong things, and then they regret later on. And then they will say, you know what? My mind was telling me to do such and such. Now your mind was telling you, as per this verse, swasyacha priyamatmanaha. It was what atma means? Your soul, our soul. It was our soul talking to you. So friends, let's read this part here. The wise openly declare, everybody, 2:4.
The wise openly declare the following to be the 4 determinants of dharma. Whatever is taught in Veda, whatever is approved by the writings of the rishis, whatever course of action conforms to truth, and whatever is desired by one's own soul.
Very good. Thank you so much, Neeraj. I appreciate you being here. From school, you came straight here. I was told you weren't coming, but you made it. Thank you. So anybody who can read Hindi, read this for me. Sansar ke maha. Go ahead. महापुरुषों ने हमें डूबने से बचाया. Continue. No, repeat it. You can say, oh, sorry, I'm blocking you.
संसार के महापुरुषों ने हमें
डूबने से बचाया. महर्षि दयानंद सरस्वती ने हमें तैरना सिखाया. Very beautiful line. It says here, Sansar, the Mahapurush, what Sansar means, our first word, the world. The Mahapurush, many of the great people that came before Rishi Dayanand, what they did, Hame dubne se bachaya. They tried to, you know, we were sinking, and they made an effort to push us back. Right? And some of us were able to stay afloat and some of us sank in those days. But Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ne hame tairna sikhaya. What tairna means? To what? So y'all smart people. He taught us how to swim. He said, go back to the Ved. He gave us Satyar Prakash. He gave us Sanskara Vidhi. And he said, follow these sanskars. Yes, Yeah, don't just live home. Do the what we call the Vivaha Sanskar, and bless your union. For in that Vivaha Sanskar, there are many things you ask God for in your marital life. He give us Sanskar Vidhi. And you watch people, friends. You watch our members. Pandit Deepak, Pandit Ravi, Pandit Prakash, myself, Pandita Nirvani, we do sanskars for many families. And you watch those families who perform sanskars for their children. See how much more different they are from those who do not. And so Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ne hame tarna sikhaya. He taught us how to swim. And when when you and I know how to swim, meaning know the wisdom and know the basic things of life, indeed we'll be happy people. We'll, as the Adas verse said, our minds will be centered on the acquisition of knowledge. We'll have amiable tempers. We'll have a good disposition. And so finally, this is in the Atmagit, but I put it here. Dekha na koi duja, dekha na koi duja, ऋषिवर महान जैसा देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा न कोई दूजा, ऋषिवर
महान जैसा, ऋषिवर महान जैसा,
देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा न कोई दूजा, ऋषिवर महान जैसा, देखा न कोई दूजा, एक और सारी दुनिया, एक और वो अकेला, एक और सारी दुनिया, एक और वो अकेला, कुछ पास में नहीं था, चेली न कोई चेला, दुनिया के हर सितम को, दुनिया के हर सितम को, मर्दान जी से झेला, देखा न कोई दूर। Let's go back to the toilet. दुनिया के हर सितम को, मर्दान जी से झेला, हरदम रहा आरावो, पर्वत महान जैसा, देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा किसी का दुख तो ऋषिवर की आँख रोए, देखा किसी का देखो ऋषिवर के आँख रोए, जग के लिए ऋषि ने रातों के नींद खोई, जेके अनेक त्यागी, ऋषिराज सान कोई, दिल था विशाल इतना, दिल था विशाल इतना, है आसमान जैसा, देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा न कोई दूजा, देखा न कोई दूजा. Again, in closing, I thank all of you so much for being such a wonderful, very, very kind group of participants here tonight. And all of you who have dedicated, again, your energies and your time to be here to make our third session a successful session. Again, a special thank you to all our musicians. Thank you for helping during the pravachan. Rajin, Deepak, Neeraj, thank you so much for making an effort to be here. And thank all of you for joining your sweet voices in the chanting and in the pravachan today. It makes it so much easier for me. As I said, it was a busy past 3 days for me. And so in you joining your voices like this, it makes it easier for me. Thank you so much.
Dhanyavad, Pandit Bharatji, for that inspirational message. At this time, Bahin Sadeshna has prepared a bhajan for us. Please come forward.
Namaste, everyone. The bhajan I'm going to do, the name of it is Jagane Jagatako. Whoever knows the bhajan can join with me. I should read it. The meaning of this bhajan goes like this. Swami Dayanand came to awaken the world and to give new life to the society that lacks spirit. Divine Vedic knowledge disappeared in the darkness, and atheism was developing in the world. Swami Dayanand came with the sun of knowledge of the Vedas. He tolerated numerous pains, but gave happiness to the world. Destroying the false, he illumined the truth, bringing new life, ever blissful. When he met with God, chains of diyas were lighting. The diyas burnt itself, but gave light to the world. Swamiji drank poison given to him, but he gave nectar to the world. Jagane jagat ko Dayanand aaye. Jagane jagat ko Dayanand aaye. Jilane mritak ko Dayanand aaye. Dayanand aaye. Dayanand aaye. Jagane jagat ko Dayanand aaye. Jagane jagat ko Dayanand aaye. Uyastadam me vimal veda vedya. Teri har taraf naam asmita kavedya. Uyastadam me vimal veda vedya. Dayanand aaye. जगत को दयानंद हाय जिलाने मृतक को दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय जगाने जगत को दयानंद हाय सहे कष्ट अन्न गिन दिया सुख जगत को किया सत्य ज्योतित पिताया सत को सहे कष्ट अन्न गिन दिया सुख जगत को किया सत्य ज्योतित मिटाया असत को नए प्राण दे सर्व दयानंद हाय जगाने जगत को दयानंद हाय जिलाने मृतक को दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय जगाने जगत को दयानंद हाय मिले जब प्रभु से चले दीपमाला स्वयं दीप ने जल दिया जग उजाला मिले जब प्रभु से चले दीपमाला स्वयं दीप ने जल दिया जग उजाला पिया को सहाले सुधा सिंधु हाय जगाने जगत को दयानंद हाय जिलाने मृतक को दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय दयानंद हाय जगाने जगत को दयानंद हाय दयानंद आए दयानंद आए
Bhajan Sudeshna, beautiful bhajan indeed. On behalf of Arya Spiritual Center, we would like to thank all of you for joining us in person and online. Special thanks to the Pandits, Panditas, musicians, producers, and sponsors. Refreshments are prepared for us this evening, compliments of Bayan Child, Bayan Vashti, and of course, coordination with Mataji Bodhmati. I have to say, this is a trailblazer in that kitchen. When we all leave, she's still there trying to put everything together for the next day. Also, a special thank you to Bayan Naro, Bayan Mala, for organizing a team to get the mandir cleaned and prepared for this yajna. We appreciate all that you do to ensure the mandir's maintenance is being met. It is not an easy feat, and you do it all effortlessly. May we all stand at this time for Arti and Shanti Path as we conclude tonight's Yajna.
ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख विन से मन का स्वामी दुख विन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे सुख संपत्ति घर आवे कष्ट मिटे तन का ओम जय जगदीश हरे मात पिता तुम मेरे शरण गहो किसकी स्वामी शरण गहो किसकी तुम बिन और न दूजा तुम बिन और न दूजा आस करो जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरे विषय विकार मिटावो पाप हरो देवा स्वामी पाप हरो देवा श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ संतन की सेवा ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे अथ शांति पाठः ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ओम शांति 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 प्रेम से बोलो ओमकार भगवान की जय प्रेम से बोलो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र की जय प्रेम से बोलो योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय प्रेम से बोलो जगत गुरु महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद की जय प्रेम से बोलो वेदा माता की जय प्रेम से बोलो वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय भोजन मंत्र ओम अनपते ननस्य नो देहि अनमिवस्य शुष्मिनः प्रप्रदातारं तारेश ऊर्जन्नो देहि द्विपदे चतुष्पदे ओम शांति 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 नमस्ते
आर्य समाज
अमर रहे
वेद की ज्योति
जलती रहे
ओम का झंडा
ऊंचा रहे
वैदिक ध्वनि सभी वैदिक अभिवादन नमस्ते as you heard